Welcome back, darlings. In this video, I'm going to clean my new motorbike. When I say new motorbike, I mean new to me. And when I say new, I mean I got it on Valentine's Day, and today is June the 30th, and I've not cleaned it yet. I've been very, very busy. I ride it 2 or 3 times a week in all weathers, so it's pretty crowded up. The only thing I have done is clean and lube the chain a good few times. However, nothing else has been touched, and the dealer valet didn't do a particularly good job. My main thing is there's a lot of plastics on this, and I need to get them dressed and protected, so because they're starting to fade a little bit. So that's the main thing. To start with, though, chain time, because I use a cleaner that you can use with the pressure washer, and it makes a huge difference. So join me at the rear end.
So like I said, starting with the chain, I use S-Doc 1000 chain cleaning gel. What I love about this is you spray it on, agitate it with the proper brush, leave it for 15 minutes and then pressure wash it off, and it doesn't make any mess on your driveway. So anyone that cleans a motorcycle chain regularly will know that the thinner cleaners drip all over your driveway and leave a big greasy mess on there. So that's why I love it. It's great because it means I can go and set up in that 15 minutes while it's dwelling. You can see what we've got to clean here. As I said, it's been ages since I cleaned it. Well, I've never cleaned it. It's been ages since it's had a really thorough clean, and it's been ridden through all sorts of weather, and it's got covered in all sorts of grime. This is fairly normal for a motorbike though, so I wouldn't be too alarmed. Lots of plastic surfaces though on this bike, more than I've had on other ones. So what I'm doing first is I'm spraying on some Surfx HD at about 1 to 10 on the really greasy areas, letting that dwell for a little bit, and then I'm covering that up with Garage Therapy Snow V2 at 3% PIR. You can see in the foam especially, you can really see like the amount of dirt that was coming off. This bike was dirty. It was hiding it pretty well, even though it looked pretty dirty in those pictures. It still, to me, hid it better than I think it looked, if that makes sense. I was surprised just how clean it got at the very end. But also a bit of a gratuitous shot, but here we go. You can see really in the snow foam there just how much muck was coming off. So I'm rinsing off the snow foam and now rinsing off the chain cleaner as well. It's great. You've got to make sure you clean it properly and dry it properly. But as I'm going around with lots of little detailing brushes and the big and small easy brushes in all the various nooks and crannies on a motorbike, again, way more than you would on a car. And then I'm washing it with ONR as the shampoo. I'm not using it as a rinse list, but it's great. I'm washing in direct sunlight here, and it doesn't dry out. Or if it does, it doesn't leave any watermarks, so it's a great thing to use. After you've done that, with a bike especially, very important to blow dry. So I'm using my Nilfisk Buddy 212 there, with the crevice tool on the blow dry. That offer, by the way, that I had for 25% off has been extended to the end of August, so link to that in the description too. Use the code Llama 25. Now, as I've done all the washing, the really key bit for me was improving how it looked. So there's lots and lots of different types of plastics on this bike, and I am dressing them all with Infinity Wax Plastic Coat. When I say there's lots of different plastics, every single one seems to be a slightly different material. But also, it's everywhere. This is the shroud around the headlight and the beak, and then there's the bit on the belly pan, and there's this 50/50 that you can see as on the right hand side was treated. So there's lots of plastic on the top there, because that's not actually a fuel tank on this bike. That's an extra bit of storage where the fuel tank would be, because it lives under the rear seat, unlike most other bikes. The top box seems to have like 4 different types of plastic on. Then there's the indicator shrouds and the hand guards and the wing mirrors. And I would say, looking at this, the Infinity Wax Plastic Coat made them look lovely, really rich, and kind of cared for. As you can see before, they were all starting to look a bit tired, so I'm really pleased about that. It's freshened up the bike no end and made it look a lot better than when I picked it up, actually.
So the interesting thing I've just noticed during editing this was that there's about 15 different types of plastic on that bike. There's about 4 in the top box alone. So I've inadvertently started a really good long-term test of the Infinity Wax Plastic Coat. So I'm going to keep an eye on that over the next year, see when it fails. I'll probably get about 4 to 6 months out of it, I think, which is fine for the ease of application, given I didn't do any real prep. I just washed it, and I did it with ONR, so yeah, that's going to leave some residue behind too. So let's see how that gets on. But for now, let's go back and see some before and afters.
And I really feel that the big difference here was made by dressing all those plastics, because it looked quite tired until I'd done those bits. So I'm really pleased with the difference that made, and it's really freshened it up in my opinion. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and you've been interested to see how I use the products and actually clean a bike. It's a bit different to a car. You've got some different considerations. If you'd be interested in me taking the bike out for a ride and take you along for it, let me know down in the comments. But either way, thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. But before you go, like and subscribe if you haven't already.